The other question I had in the tournament was obviously everyone harped on the UMBC thing, but you had nothing to do with that. But then when we're down 14, Gardner Webb, were you like, I mean, what's going through your mind at that point? Because all those guys are thinking back on last year, but you didn't have that. So
No, I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, you're right. I didn't have that, but you could definitely feel it in the air. Like, like what's going on? But once we walked into the locker room, it was all we're good. It was no doubt in our mind that we were going to come back and walk them down. Coach Bennett did not come in screaming and yelling. He was super calm and composed, and I think just after halftime, we kind of just knew what we had to do. I mean,
I kind of thought that was a big game for Kihei. Maybe not offensively, but I thought he kind of sparked them a little bit defensively by if you go back and watch the game, he was pretty disruptive on defense. Yeah. Not necessarily steals, but like contesting shots and getting his hand on a couple loose balls. I thought was pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a tough game.
I thought we were incredibly disruptive against Oklahoma, right? Like just the point guard just wore him down. He was tired. He was so tired. I got a buddy who coaches for Oklahoma, and that's exactly what he told me after the game. He said our point guard was so tired midway through the second half.
Yeah, he's a bigger guard, so I knew I had to pick him up early full court and just not let him get a full head of steam.
And I don't know if they changed their style because they were trying to pick and roll with him a lot.
Yeah, I think just our bigs and just the way we cover pick and roll defense, I think it kind of disrupts a lot of people's game. Because once they can't do anything off the pick and roll, I don't think they can score pretty much. It just comes to closing out and not giving up open looks after that.
So this next photo.
I like that one.
This is Ty, hand on your shoulder. Do you remember this moment?
Yep.
Do you know what this photo is from?
I was at the free throw line. We're sitting at half court, just hoping he gonna make it. I remember that vividly. Just us just chilling at half court, and then Kyle knocked him down. So that was a good photo.
Ty talked about him whispering in your ear, "Oh shit, I think it's going left." Do you remember that?
He probably did. I don't even remember.
That's awesome.
That's a great photo though.
It is. And I was gonna say, what is Ty? Because Ty talks about you all the time. So the first time he came to the Bay, Phoenix, and my wife was like, "Who do you keep up with on the team now that you're a pro and you've got this weird thing?" And he said, first thing, Kihei. That's my guy. Like, I watch him like so closely. So what has your relationship with him been like since he left?
No, it hasn't wavered one bit. I mean, obviously, we're not on the same team anymore, and we're doing our separate things, but we keep in contact. We talk often about games, off the court, on the court, just funny stuff. That's my brother, and that's just the relationship we have now, and that's something we're gonna have forever.
So when he was on our podcast, he said he never threw the ball at you in practice.
Nah, he definitely did.
He said no, that was a miss. I never threw the ball at Kihei in practice. I would never do that. And then Isaiah came on and said, "Bullshit, you totally did that." That's awesome. Well, Mark went to take a break for a minute, but he'll get a kick out of that one. All right, this next one. This is in the third floor after the championship. Do you remember this, you guys? I mean, I was behind. I think me and Dev were behind you. I was just like, I'm gonna take this picture and show you at some point. This is
that's a good one. That's Tank. That's Derek Thornton's father, the one that was at Boston College.
Uh-huh.
I grew up playing with him. Is that my mom or is that Auntie Sandra? I think that's my aunt or my mom. I can't tell. They look so much alike. And then my dad, Uncle Corey, and that's Auntie Kim right there in the middle. But that's just I had a lot of people come into to that game and those two games. So I mean, it meant a lot having all those people in the stands, knowing they were rooting for me.
And what was that like for you, Malik? We talked a little bit about it, but that whole weekend, that whole experience, I
Oh,
mean, thoughts, dreams,
that's a
hopes.
dream come true as a player and a fan.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Probably one of the best times of my life, man. I really
Yeah.
had a great time.
And then comparing, obviously, high school, you go to college, very first season in college, and it's this one. Like,
Oh no.
did you guys talk about that as a conversation? Like, where do we go from here? We were joking like Kihei just one and done, bro. Just go to the NBA. But it's like there's nothing else for you to do. What did you guys talk about when all was said and done that night? You know, this was like I think I took this at like 4 a.m.
I know we was up so late. No, I think we were just thinking high. I mean, just reflecting on the game probably, and just appreciating each other's company. But no, I don't even remember.
There was a lot of well, not on his part, but on the family's part. There was probably a lot of drinking and what's the game we play?
We were playing left, right, center.
Left, right, center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And
Not
I was
with
gonna say,
our family, but the other players on the teams, their families.
yeah, the card games. And I was gonna say the next day everybody goes. Did you go back to Charlottesville right after this? Yeah, you did. Right, Malik, where did you go? You went back to LA or did you go to Charlottesville as well?
No, we went home.
Okay.
We went home.
And how was that? The basking in the championship, going back to regular life, was that difficult?
It was real difficult. It was real difficult. And I had to go from that to going to like his brother's game, 9-year-old AAU games in the summer. But it was fun, man. It was fun.
So how did your little brothers take all this in? Like, I mean, it's hard to appreciate it at that age, I know, but did they understand what was happening?
I think Nalu a little bit. Nalu's the middle one. He's into basketball now, so I think he kind of understood it, and I think he kind of took it in a little bit. But Shaka for sure was just he was just glad he was away from school and he didn't have to do homework.
The first round he slept through. If you remember,
Yeah.
not the first round, but the Purdue game. Right?
Uh-huh.
Before that, I think was the Central Florida Duke game, maybe.
Right.
And Shaka slept through both games.
That's great. Yeah. I remember my niece and nephew were playing with him, and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to go to Kihei's game. I want to stay in the arcade." When we were at, remember that when we were at, we were like, "That's hilarious."
That's funny.
And then that comes to this next one.
All right.
This post. This is on the Sabre. Shout out the Sabre, incredible UVA fan site, but there's some trash on here. But this one, if Kihei is a starter playing 30 minutes, the ceiling for the team is like this is that thing, right? Right away, people are like, "Oh, Kihei can't play." Is this motivation for you? Like, what happens when you take over the team? Like Ty's gone, now it's on you. Another challenge. How did you prepare that off season?
No, I knew my responsibility was gonna obviously grow, especially offensively, just because of the pieces we lost. And Dre, Tao Kai, I mean, even Jack. But yeah, I knew it was gonna expand, so I knew I had to work. And coach put the ball in my hands. He knew it was gonna be a little bit of ups and downs at times during the season. But I think I definitely grew in that aspect.
And did you guys like have a game plan in your off-season workouts? Like, hey, I got to work on X, Y, and Z, or did you just work on everything like in any other off-season?
I mean, I think it was kind of just the same in terms of any off-season, just working on reps and working on your shot. I mean, to put the ball in the hole, I think it's more reps than anything.
All right. And you knew at that moment, I got to get my shot in. I got to get finish in the lane better because Ty's not going to be there. Kyle's not going to be there. You gotta make up for all that. That's a lot of responsibility.
Yep, these losses.
I think every year you kind of just have to progress. So yeah, definitely in those aspects.
And then this is this season.
Yep.
This is in the Mohegan Sun, you and Remy. That was so cool. I don't think people really knew how tight y'all were when you win this game. You were kind of hurt that game, right? So, but you powered through it. But that matchup was incredible. Like, it was for you, Malik. How was that? I mean, his dad was right there. Y'all have been friends forever.
Me, Sam, and Sharon and Marianne hung out all weekend. We had a good time. We had dinner. You know, when those guys go back with their team, we would have dinner together. You know, walk around the casino and stuff, gamble a little bit. So it's just like being at home. It was nice to have them there on the road, and it was really cool to see two guys who were like best friends growing up, and they're living their dream out playing against each other on TV
at the highest level.
Yeah.
That one floater he hit and towards the end of the game was crazy though. You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, he played a great game.
He
really scored well for sure.
Yeah,
he was tough that game. He was tough all season, I guess. And I was going to say, how do you keep up with his games? Because Pac-12.
No, yeah, they're definitely at different times of the day, and I definitely check in with my dad. We're always talking about each other, their games, and we have another friend named Mike. He plays at Eastern Washington, so we're always trying to keep up with each other's games just because we can't always watch them. But I definitely watch the highlights for games at all times if I can't catch the full game.
And I watch all their games as well because they're on the West Coast, so I kind of keep them filled in as much as possible.
Yeah. I was going to say the LA basketball culture has a different kind of cult following as well. Like it has in its own little fraternity as such. Do you guys feel that?
A little bit. I think so. I mean, a lot of people try to say where the best basketball players come from.
Who says that?
A lot of people try to claim that the best basketball players come out of their cities.
Hey,
he's not saying that they say they come out of LA. And everybody claims they're the best.
I got you. I was teasing.
No, like I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time out here that it's LA. But you played Oakland Soldiers, right? So you know the Bay as well.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of talent out here on the West Coast for sure.
So what was that like for you when you were coming up to the Bay for games, and like how was that journey for you as the AAU dad?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I was just saying, how was that journey for you as an AAU dad? Like, what was the choice for you to become? You said Oakland Soldiers was the path for Kihei. Well, how did that decision come down?
Well, originally he played for LA Rockfish.
Mm-hmm.
He played for them from 8th grade to 11th grade, and then 10th grade, I guess. And then, he did well with them. He had the UCA Davis offer with them, but then a lot of people were saying like, oh, he does well, but can he do it against better competition? And so wasn't my choice for him to go to the Soldiers. I told him he's fine where he's at. It was his choice because everybody doubted him. So he's like, well, I got to go play against the best. Yeah. So that's what he did. It wasn't really my choice.
And then where you got really noticed was Peach Jam, right? That was the big.
Yeah, that was a big tournament where I kind of had a good stretch of games. But yeah, Oakland Soldiers wasn't the first choice. I mean, we have Cal Supreme right here in our backyard, right here in LA. So we kind of just had to get on a team where I could fit in.
And I was going to say, now that it's COVID-19 has stopped everything, what are your thoughts on the kids? What is your advice to the kids now that don't have an opportunity to go to an event to get noticed? What would be your advice to those kids?
Stay in the gym.
Yeah, stay in the gym for sure. I mean, you don't know when this stuff is gonna get released, and when you're gonna be able to go out and play games, and if people are even gonna be allowed to watch. So I know it's hard, and I know it ruined a lot of people's seasons and people's summers. So it's not much you could do besides stay in the gym for real.
And then this next photo.